The Prophet Muhammad gives us a powerful analogy of each of us in this world. He says we are like a abiri sabil, which is like a wanderer traveling through the wilderness. Traversing the wilderness can be a very trying and challenging journey. There are many dangers in the wilderness. As such, we need people who have gone through the process before, people that we can use as guides who can help us show the way, who give us some direction on the process of traveling through the wilderness. As well, traveling through the wilderness is best achieved when we do that with other people. So we recognize we need to cooperate with others in order to reach our destination safely. As such, the Prophet Muhammad prescribed 5 Arkan as a methodology that can help people traverse the wilderness. So the Arkan are generally translated as pillars. But in reality, the word Arkan in its original root was not pillars that stand side by side, but rather levels that build up one upon the other. Originally, they were the levels of a tower, a watchtower that was used in the wilderness that allowed the person who went higher to see further and have a greater perspective. So when you ascend the highest level, so as you move up, it's supposed to give you a further perspective. So in reality, the more you practice, the more you apply the Arkan, the more open-minded, the more perspective you're supposed to have on the world. The first of the Arkan is what is known as the Shahada, stemming from the concept of the shahd, which is the honeycomb. Honeycombs are the final product, not the beginning, only coming after a long process of gathering pollen, processing it, and then producing sweet, healing honey. The Prophet Muhammad compared a person of faith to a honeybee. He says, Al-mu'minu kan-nahla, in 3 stages. The first gathers knowledge from an array of diverse sources. Second, takes this knowledge and processes it, and through a process of discernment comes to the 3rd stage, which is to produce a product that is beneficial for the world, a product that enhances and heals the process of healing and growth. The second of the Arkan is what is known as the Salah, stemming from the concept of a rope bridge suspended over a ravine, connecting people who were once disconnected. The concept of Salah comes to bring awareness on 3 levels: divine awareness, a connection with the divine; self-awareness, a connection within our own selves; and societal, social awareness that connects the individual with the world around them. The third of the Arkan is Zeca, which originally was a scaffold that was used in the process of reparation of cracks in walls. The Zeca as a scaffold raises people. It is a raised platform. So in essence, Zeca seeks to empower individuals by providing equal opportunity across the board. Zeca revolves around impact investing, where a small portion, about 2.5% of what is saved over an entire year, is taken to assist people, to empower them, to provide them with the startup funds to begin a process that empowers their own lives. Therefore, Zeca seeks to empower people, not to make them dependent on a concept of charity. Zeca is truly established when a Zeca receiver becomes a Zeca giver. During the time of the Caliph Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, within a period of 2 years, Islamic traditionalists inform us that poverty was almost entirely eliminated because the process of Zeca was employed in its original style, which was to empower people, to provide them with the startup funds and with the skills in order to better their own lives, not to make them dependent on others. The fourth of the Arkan comes as Sawm. And Sawm is to divide something equally. Originally, Sawm was associated with dividing, apportioning of a person's skills. If Zeca was a sharing of a portion of a person's wealth to empower others, Sawm was intended as a process of sharing skills in order to empower others. We generally associate Sawm with fasting during the month of Ramadan. So the Siyam of the month, which is the physical abstinence from food and drink and animal desires, is only one aspect. But the most powerful, greater aspect of the fasting month of Ramadan is the Sawm, which is the sharing of a person's expertise. So during the month of Ramadan, the Prophet Muhammad and the people around him shared their expertise, whether it was sharing knowledge, sharing expertise, skills, whether it was the building of roads, whether it was sharing education on an academic level or on any other level. But Sawm revolves around the sharing of a person's skills. So the time that I'm saving from fasting, from eating and drinking, from preparing a meal, and from digesting, I will take those hours and dedicate them to the service of others to improve the world. So the last of the Arkan, which comes as a culmination, is the Hedge. And Hedge is so powerful because Hedge is a relaunch point. If we look at the Arkan, remember the Arkan are levels in a tower. Now we have the 4 levels, and Hedge comes as a 5th level on the top. Going back to the origin of the word Hedge, which meant a beacon of light, it comes like a beacon on top of a light tower that disseminates light throughout the distance to allow people who are traveling to see. So Hedge is a time, it's a great convention that allows people to come together, to bring the skills and experiences that they have through life together, and to share these experiences, to share knowledge, and to allow each other to re-emerge into the world, to make the world into a better place. And if the Arkan are applied in their original sense, their intent is to improve communities, to improve individuals, and ultimately to improve the world. And it was during the time when the Arkan were truly understood and applied that the Muslims of the past were really able to create what is known as the Islamic Golden Age. Even the camera that is videotaping this right now is a product of the Arkan in their implementation through people like Ibn al-Haytham, who developed the camera obscura that becomes the forerunner for the camera that we use today.